Here is my ranking of all mementos in Silksong. Mementos are one of my favorite additions to an already incredible game, but not all of them are created equal. I enjoyed every memento, but at number 8 for me was the Grey Memento. While I loved the idea of a last sentinel standing at the edge of Farloom, you'll see from the rest of this video where there could have been a little bit more depth to this memento. Even still, I enjoyed the fight and it was sufficiently challenging for the endgame while still being doable. Moving on to number 7, we have the Sprint Master memento. I genuinely enjoyed this area, and Sprint Master Swift was a fun callback to the original Hollow Knight. But when racing for this memento, I felt that it became a little bit repetitive during the last 6-lap gauntlet. This one would definitely be ranked higher if the last race was 3 laps or if you obtained the memento 1 race earlier. It could just be a skill issue, but I also prefer the exploration and story quests over minigames like this. Speaking of minigames and skill issues, at number 6 was the Guardian memento. Seth is a beast at these minigames, and I'm not proud of how long it took me to beat his scores. But this one is ranked slightly higher than the Sprint Master memento because of the build up to this minigame gauntlet. Fighting Seth before Nihilith and then finding him around the map was a rewarding and interesting quest, if not a bit tedious for a blind playthrough. But I enjoyed how Team Cherry built out his character and then gave Seth a peaceful place to end his journey. Now that we're past the minigames, we have one more repetitive memento to cover at number 5, the Hunter's Memento. The Hunter's Memento is the ultimate completionist journey. It takes you back through every area and tests your game knowledge, if not your patience at times. The backtracking through the areas was actually very enjoyable for me, as it got to rediscover areas that I moved past quickly in my playthrough. But it's no secret this becomes a grind and a scavenger hunt. In addition, there's a few unintuitive entries that I had to accidentally discover while searching for more endgame content. All in all, I enjoyed the hunt, but this one was a little bit too much of a grind for my taste. Moving back to story-based mementos, we have the saddest one of the bunch at number 4 with the Hero's Memento. This one gets a high ranking just for the emotional impact it had, driving home the consequences of my actions in the cradle. Garmond was one of my favorite characters to see throughout my run, and Team Cherry did a great job of showing his personality in fights and in dialogue. And while the fight was nothing to write home about, the story that this told deserves a top 4 spot. Now, to start off the top 3, we have the Craw Memento. I mentioned that I appreciated the story of Garmond, and this memento had a similar build-up, just a little bit more subtle. The foreshadowing of having a locked metal door in a building that you can access in Act 1 was a genius move by Team Cherry. When I got the Craw summons, it was a great aha moment, and I knew exactly where to take it. Besides this memento having a great multi-act payoff, this boss fight was unique and just challenging enough to be satisfying, and getting the Craw Bell for passive rosaries and shards is a great in-game bonus. Overall, a simple memento, but the idea of a group that would challenge Hornet after she unleashes the Void on their home was great storytelling on top of a well-paced quest. At number 2, we have a bit of an outlier with the Surface Memento. While a lot of people have frustrations with platforming challenges such as these, I rather enjoyed the challenge of learning new ways to move, and reaching the surface was one of the best feelings throughout this game. I also enjoyed the process of reaching the parkour section, taking you back through the cradle as you pass broken gears and a destroyed environment. The last small detail that I liked about this memento was the use of the needle-in to obtain it. I appreciated the simple change of not just having the memento on the ground, and instead needing to dive into the thoughts of this hollowed husk to obtain your prize. Finally, at my number 1, we have the only memento that can change between playthroughs with the heart mementos. If you didn't know, the 3 hearts marked on the map for the Snail Shaman's quest are not the only hearts you can obtain. If you free the Green Prince in Sinner's Road, you can find him at the far end of Greymore, where you can enter Verdania to obtain the conjoined heart. This heart can be placed in your home as a memento, or it can be used for the Snail Shaman's Rite, in place of any of the other hearts. This will then allow you to place the remaining heart in your home. This detail, along with the top tier fights that reward you with the hearts, make this an easy number 1 memento in my book. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and let me know in the comments which memento was your favorite. Thanks for watching.